Resolution.
Magic.
I don't want to take too long.
I just got it.
The student body president of each school should come up to the mic.
Oh, we had Air Jordan at the time, and that was good back then. That's my name was Magic. Magic Johnson. I just combined two names.
Where's Pappas? I know what that smell is now.
This
This guy's named Magic.
It preceded me.
I'd like to call the October 2013 Poquoson City School Board meeting to order. Marissa, take it away.
Jacob Lewis will lead us in the pledge. Jacob is an 8th grader at Poquoson Middle School. He's in honors math and hopes to continue that in high school, and he loves to solve a Rubik's Cubes. He is in the Battle of the Books and Chess Club and is a member of the band. He plays baseball and his hobbies include reading and video games.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chelsea Griffith will provide the inspirational reading. Chelsea is an 8th grader at Poquoson Middle School and is a member of the National Junior Honor Society. Her goal for high school is to keep her grades up, get into the National Honor Society, and get accepted to UVA. She's on the junior varsity field hockey team, and field hockey is her hobby. Chelsea finds it quite interesting that while both her parents are left-handed, she is right-handed.
About a month ago, I was on the University of Virginia website, and I found a quote that said, "I am a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it," by Thomas Jefferson. When I read this, I automatically think of the academics and athletics in Poquoson. I thought this was a perfect inspirational quote to show the harder you work towards your goal, the more luck you have from attempting.
Thank you, guys. Next, we're going to go into student presentations and students and families. Once we do that, we'll have some recognitions, and we'd appreciate if you stick around until after the recognitions so the board can come out and kind of mingle and chat with you just a little bit. Our student presentation tonight is going to be by students from Poquoson Middle School, and they're going to give a Teen Read Week presentation and share how the library supports the students and teachers at their school. The students are assisted by Chris Tyler, Library Media Specialist.
Teen Read Week is celebrated each year during the 3rd week of October. Teens celebrate reading for the fun of it. Did you know that teens who read for fun have better test scores and are more likely to do well at careers? My name is Kayla Musa, and my favorite book is The Fire Opal by Regina McBride.
Teen Read Week is celebrated at hundreds of schools and libraries across the nation. This year's theme is Seek the Unknown at your library. My name is Ella Cook, and my favorite book is Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper.
At Poquoson Middle School, we checked out over 18,000 books last year. This number includes printed books, e-books, magazines, graphic novels, and playaway audiobooks. I won the prize for checking out the most audiobooks from our library last year. My name is Jack Wainwright, and my favorite book is On the Day I Died.
"809 classes were held in our library last year. One of the most popular projects was the Animoto Book Promotion Project. Students made videos and created QR codes for library books. Some of our best library lessons were the Constitution Day and Holocaust Remembrance programs. My name is Zachary Crowley. My favorite book is Pendragon.
Frequently, there are special presentations in our library. We had visits from 2 local authors last year, Ashley Korf and Lance Bacon. We also had a Pause to Read event with therapy dogs during the National Library Week and Skyped with author Tom Engelberger. My name is McKay Freeman, and my favorite library book is Peter and the Starcatchers.
The library sponsors dances and book fairs to raise money for extra books and special events. We have also been very fortunate to win grants from the Poquoson Education Foundation. My name is Abby Cannella, and my favorite library book is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
We have 2 book fairs each year. I like the book fair because I get to see all the newest books. My name is Bailey Green, and my favorite book is Kindred Souls.
The library sponsors Lunch Bunch once a month. Students bring their lunch to the library and discuss their favorite books. Last month, we had 121 students attend at Lunch Bunch. My name is Mackenzie Connors, and my favorite library book is Maniac McGee.
The library sponsored a December holiday writing contest. Last year, 128 students entered the contest for cash prizes. I wrote the story, A Merry Christmas After All, and won $15. My name is Madison Griggs, and my favorite library book is Invisible World.
In February, we have Oscars for Books. When Hollywood is rolling out the red carpet for movie stars, we are busy making book-shaped cakes for our own special Oscars event. Last year, 156 students attended Oscars for Books, and we had 22 book-shaped cake entries featuring scenes from our favorite books.
This year we have 10 new iPad minis for students' use in the library. We enjoy using the iPad minis to look up our library catalog and to find books for checkout.
We look forward to a visit from the author Lena Crumweedy in November and a presentation promoting libraries from Scooter Hayes, the hip-hop librarian, in December. My name is Kaylin Clark, and my favorite library book is The Hunger Games.
The library sponsors the Battle of the Books and Chess Club. Students meet on Tuesdays after school for Battle of the Books. We answer quiz bowl type questions to prepare for our regional competition in March. My name is Caden Ferguson, and my favorite book is Ender's Game.
Chess Club meets in the library on Thursdays after school. Playing chess has many benefits for the brain, and it's fun too. My name is Jacob Lewis, and my favorite book is Mr. Monday.
The school library is about learning for life. The library helps to develop lifelong readers and effective users of information. We love our library. My name is Chelsea Griffin, and my favorite book is The Hunger Games.
And now we would like to show you a short video collage about the Poquoson Middle School Library Media Center.
Students, thank you very much. That was a very nice presentation. I'm glad to see that those books still come with pages instead of a charger, so that's a good thing. And don't let anybody ever take that love of reading away from you. That's an awesome gift to have. And parents, thank you very much for encouraging the reading. So you guys did a great job. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Thank our library specialist, Chris Tyler, and her staff needs to be thanked as well. They did a great job.
Yes, they did. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for catching that. I actually had it circled and I was going to move right along. Sorry. Next, do we have any additions or modifications to the agenda?
We do not.
Okay, next we'll move into student recognitions.
Well, Chairman Carter moves to the podium. Tonight we're excited to recognize some of our high school students, and this is related to the National Merit Scholarship. National Merit Scholarship Corporation recognizes certain students for their high scores on the PSAT National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test, outstanding achievement, and exceptional academic promise. A selected number of students who achieve the top scores in their state are named semifinalists, and those who achieve just slightly lower scores are named commended students. Poquoson High School, I am proud to say, has 2 semifinalists and 3 commended students this year. At this time, I'd ask that Mark Thibodeau come forward, please. Mark is a senior at Poquoson High School and has been named a National Merit Scholar semifinalist. He plays on the travel soccer team, is a team captain of Academic Challenge, and is on the board of directors of a Leo Club. He's also a member of Model United Nations and the first robotics team, NASA Knights. Mark's dream is to attend the University of Cambridge in England to study materials and engineering. Please join me in congratulating Mark on being named a National Merit Scholar semifinalist. And hopefully one day, Mark, you will be in English and send us all pictures. Next, I'd like to invite Catherine Weathered forward. Catherine is also a senior at Poquoson High School and has also been named a National Merit Scholar semifinalist. She is a drum major in the Islander Marching Band and is first chair clarinet in the band. She has served as treasurer, president, and on the board of directors for the PHS Leo Club. Catherine is captain of the Academic Challenge team and plans to attend the University of Virginia to major in biomedical engineering. Please join me in congratulating Catherine for being named National Merit Scholar semifinalist. Catherine, it will be nice to have another Wahoo in town. Now, Catherine Walsh, please. Catherine, also a senior at Poquoson High School, has been recognized as a National Merit Scholar commended student. She is editor-in-chief of the Islander Echo, the high school newspaper. Katie is also, president of the Model United Nations and has been to 4 Model UN conferences. She enjoys speaking and learning Spanish and even teaches Spanish at a local daycare. This past summer, Katie won a travel award that enabled her to experience the culture of Costa Rica. Please join me in recognizing Catherine for being recognized as a National Merit Scholar commended student. And Luke Wolf. Luke, also a senior at Poquoson High School, has been recognized by the National Merit Scholar Program as a commended student. He is an Eagle Scout and involved in Academic Challenge. He is currently attending New Horizons Governor's School, enrolled in the programming strand, and has applied to MIT, Stanford, Carnegie Mellon, George Mason, and Virginia Tech. Luke will major in either computer science or cybersecurity. Please join me in congratulating Luke on being named a National Merit Scholar Program commended student. We'd did have another student who's been recognized as a commended student named Jacob Pomerantz, but he was unable to attend this evening, but we will be sure to share his recognition with him. And I just once again want to congratulate all of you students. You make us so proud here in Poquoson, and I have no doubt you're going to be incredibly successful in the years to come, and I certainly hope that we get to hear all about it. And congratulations to the parents, too, for the support you've provided.
Okay, at this point, we will take a short recess.
Talk about this. Won't be in trouble with that.
Making sure
I know,
You gotta start signing all that right now.
Robin did not.
Never worry, as long as you're polite. Never worry about somebody else's.
That's good. I just wanted to push
Pushing on over.
No, please leave.
They say, well, next time I'll do it, I'll read everything you say. I'll forget somebody else's words.
Really?
It'll be fine, it'll be fine.
What now? What happened?
Okay, next we're going to go into presentations and reports. And first up will be our SEAC presentation, Ms. Ferrellman. There you are.
Good evening. I'm Shelley Ferleman. I'm the chair of the Special Education Advisory Committee here in Poquoson, and I would like to thank the school board for their continued support of programs for students with disabilities. I'd also like to thank Mr. Melton for his continued support, and we look forward to working with him again this year and welcome any suggestions he might have for improving our programs. The mission of SEAC is to encourage family involvement and to provide support, ongoing discussion about educational issues, sharing information, and planning joint training events. This past year, we have continued our efforts to promote involvement and attendance at Special Education Advisory Committee meetings, and we had a table at most of the back to the school nights to give parents the opportunity to talk to us and to find out what the committee is about. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Pam Upchurch for her services as the staff representative for our city school. And we have a new representative this year, Mrs. Ruth Marie Kaysen, and she has already attended one meeting, so that's going to be good. The SEAC met 4 times this past school year. In our efforts to increase awareness, all SEAC meetings were included in the monthly school board bulletins, the resource news mailer, and the school division's website. Thanks to Dr. Feltman's efforts, SEAC meeting information was also communicated directly to staff, and phone calls were made to the homes of all students with IEPs. But even after all of this advertisement, the attendance at the meetings was low. I believe that this is due to the fact that special needs issues rise very quickly to our administrators and our special education staff, and they deal with them very efficiently. This is a very positive thing, but we also would like to see more participation so that parents can get to know other parents that have similar challenges, and so that they know that we are easy to talk to and they can come meet with us. If you have any suggestions for boosting participation, please let us know. We welcome your input. The committee has already met once this year. The topic was, did you know that October is Disability Awareness Month in Virginia? In 2009, Virginia General Assembly responded to a call from young people with disabilities to pass a resolution designating the month and to encourage public schools and universities to engage in activities that promote awareness. Youth with disabilities help design a toolkit of information that teachers can use to celebrate with their students of all ages. These materials can be found at virginiaselfadvocacy.org. 1/5 of all Americans have disabilities, including almost 1 million people in Virginia. During October, disability history and awareness activities provide an opportunity to create greater public awareness for individuals with disabilities, with the goal of full inclusion into their communities. The 3 remaining meeting dates this year are December 12th, February 20th, which happens to be my birthday, April 17th, and all meetings will be held at the Poquoson Elementary School at 4:30. I hope you will join us for our meeting on December 12th and share any ideas or suggestions you have for upcoming topics. It is our hope that through the support of parents and teachers, we will make Poquoson City Schools an even better place for students with special needs to learn and grow. I look forward to serving as the chair for the SEAC this year. Thank you again for your support and for giving me the opportunity to come and speak to you tonight.
Thank you very much. And for those who don't know, SEAC stands for Special Education Advisory Committee, and they do wonderful things up there. The meetings are very informative, and they are very approachable, all of them. They have it's a great staff up there, so I encourage anyone to come out and support them in their efforts. Thank you very much. Next up, we will have our financial update with Mr. Bowen.
Good evening, Dr. Carter, school board members, and Dr. Parrish. For the finance update this evening, I have a presentation on the new state requirements for short and long-term disability. This presentation addresses Section 7, Item A of the agenda this evening. Let me begin with a little bit of background. In 2012, the General Assembly passed the Pension Reform Act. And what this act did was it created some new laws regarding pension plans and disability plans for school divisions and local governments. First and foremost, it created a new hybrid pension plan. And when the General Assembly created this new hybrid pension plan, they eliminated the VRS disability plan option. And that's something that current employees have access to. But they have eliminated that plan. So to account for that loss, they created a new plan, and this is the VLDP, Virginia Local Disability Program. The overriding goals of the VLDP is to assist employees with rehabilitation and recovery and to get those employees back to work. All school divisions and localities are required to participate in the VLDP or another comparable plan. The VLDP has a short-term and long-term disability component, unlike the current VRS disability plan. It requires all employees hired after January 1, 2014, that works 20 more hours a week to participate in the plan. And it's optional for our current employees. There is an open enrollment that will begin in January and will last till April 30th, that current employees can make an irrevocable election to opt into the plan. So we will be developing this communication plan to employees to help assist them in their decision as we move forward closer to January. The VLDP is automatic coverage for PCPS unless the board by resolution elects to opt out and provide a comparable employer plan. The election to opt out is irrevocable. The premium rates for the VLDP are 0.39% of the covered payroll for professional staff, and professional staff, I mean teachers, paras, principals, school board office staff, and 0.91% for non-professional staff, and this would be our maintenance workers, bus drivers, custodians, and food service workers. These rates are only guaranteed for 6 months. Future rates are unknown at this time, but this plan is managed by the Virginia Retirement System, so future rates will be set by the VRS Board of Trustees. As I mentioned, the VLDP has automatic coverage. However, the school board does have an option to elect to opt out and elect a comparable plan if one's available, if there are alternatives. And there are alternatives, several that are available. However, one company is at the forefront since this legislation has passed, and that is the Standard Insurance Company through VACOR. They offer a comparable short and long-term disability plan and in fact exceed the state's program in several of the categories. Premium rates for this plan are 30.37% for both professional and our non-professional employees. So we have one single rate under this plan. This rate is also guaranteed for 3 years, unlike the 6 months that we have with the VRS plan. If after the 3 years, the standard plan comes back to us and they say, you know, we're going to have to raise your rates considerably, and we think that they are considerable increases, this plan gives us the option to go out to market and seek competition. Whereas if we're in the VRS plan, we have no option to go out to market. The VRS sets those rates. We're locked into those rates, whatever the VRS decides to set them at. We've had numerous conversations with other finance directors, school divisions, and VACOR, who handles a lot of this for the local governments. And it appears at this point that a majority of the school divisions and local governments will be opting out of the VRS plan, the VLDP, and opting into the standard plan. Again, this is just a comparison of the premiums. You'll see that the VLDP does have 2 rates. The standard has 1 rate. And I should note here that the premiums here are paid by the employer and not by the employee. Now, what does this mean to us budgetarily? So we do have a budget impact. The impact is based on the new premium and this new short-term disability component. In year 1, we believe the impact is going to be minimal. Our average turnover in employees is about 10 per year. So just based on an average salary, and this is not an average teacher salary, but just the average salary at 0.37, we're looking at about $1,500 a year in the first year. So the premiums are very minimal. And there's no short-term disability available for the first 12 months. In year 2, the impact we're going to see is that the premium is going to increase, and it will increase from here forward, and eventually in 25, 30 years, every new employee will be on this plan. The short-term disability plan is effective in year 2, and here I just have a kind of a worst-case scenario that for an employee covered under this short-term plan, we have to provide up to 25 weeks of coverage for this employee at 60% of their salary. So, give you an example, teacher A gets into a car accident and is unable to come back to work for 25 weeks. Well, at 25 weeks, we're paying 60% of their salary. And under this scenario, it'd be $2,000 a month or $12,000 for the 6 months. Now, how is that an increase to us? Well, our current plan does not offer a short-term disability component. What happens now, if that teacher gets into a car accident and is unable to come back to work for 25 weeks, they utilize their sick leave. If once they run out of sick leave, they go on leave without pay. Hopefully that employee has purchased an optional disability plan, a private plan, through our third-party administrator or through some other group, and they have coverage. But short of that, all they get is their sick leave. So providing this new short-term disability is a new expense to us. Now, that was worst-case scenario, but the more realistic scenario is for our new mothers, our young teachers who are often new mothers. When a teacher has a child, goes out on maternity leave, it's usually 6 to 8 weeks. Well, for 6 weeks, we're going to cover that employee at 60% of their salary. Again, under the current plan, when that employee goes out, we cover them with their sick leave. Once the sick leave runs out, then they're on leave without pay. So this will be a new expense to us. And each year, as we go further into this plan, the graduated percentage of salary that we have to cover increases. So if 5 years down the road, if this happens to an employee, they have 5 years of service, we're covering 100% of their salary for 85 days, and then 60% of their salary for the remaining period. So this will be a significant budget impact for us as we move down the road, but we're really looking at year 2 and year 3. So as we move into budget this year, we will begin to budget for this new plan, but we won't see real impacts until next year as we move into budget. So with that, we do have a recommendation. And again, if the board does no action this evening, takes no action this evening, PCPS will participate in the VLDP. However, we are recommending that the board elect to opt out with the resolution that we have, and if you do elect to opt out, then we will pursue the standard company insurance plan. And that's the presentation for this evening.
Thank you, sir. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
Does VRS have they identified a cap for those rates that are unknown into the future? Have they said it would be a maximum of a certain percentage, or have they not even said?
There's no cap on that right now. We know of no cap. It will depend on ultimately the size of the pool and the utilization. Now, I will say here, experience here at Poquoson City Schools is we have low disability claims, where we will see, and now the short-term component is the responsibility of the employer. So this new component, when an employee goes out on short-term disability, it's our responsibility. When they go on long-term, they're not retiring like a current employee could do. What they're doing is they're going on to the insurance company. The insurance company, Standard Insurance, is going to take that employee and begin to pay them. That's what our premium rates will be paying for those employees that go on long-term disability. They will be paid by Standard Insurance Company and not by Poquoson City Schools. But right now, there are no caps, and the rates will be evaluated by VRS every 2 years, and by standard, we at least have a 3-year guarantee.
And is there an open enrollment every year for this VRS program? So if we opted out and went on to the standard program, and then after 3 years, for some reason the school board wanted to go onto the VRS program, is it something that's open every year?
No, not as it stands right now. There's one open enrollment period for current employees, and that's January to April of 2014.
And that's it?
And that's it. And then all new employees hired January 1 forward have no option. They have to stay in this plan. So there could be an option if VRS or the General Assembly allows there to be an open enrollment every year, but right now it's a one-time election.
Okay, thank you.
We don't envision many of our current employees opting into this plan because the plan that they're currently on is really a richer plan for employees.
Right, and for employees to opt into this disability plan, what they actually are doing is they're opting into the new hybrid pension plan. So they would be giving up what they currently have, going into this hybrid pension plan and to this new disability program.
And I'm a little slow. The difference in what's currently happening short-term is sick leave is covering short-term, and going forward, we will be compensating them at 60% of salary for short term.
That's correct. Well, there's not really short term. It's just if you're sick or injured, if you have sick leave will cover you. Under the short-term program, this new program, short-term is guaranteed. If you have no sick leave, it doesn't matter. The short-term program is there. Now, if they have sick leave and the short-term is there, like go back to the example of the young mother, if after 6 weeks we cut off the disability, she then, if she has sick leave, can then use that sick leave to pay 100%. So the employee now has more options under this short term, and it's more expense to the school division.
How is it determined? Is it doctor, is there a grievance?
Well, when it comes to a non-work related issue and whether or not that employee can come back to work, there are doctors involved. The insurance companies, whether we stay with VLDP or whether we go with Standard, has a management group, and they're going to assist the school division personnel with managing these claims. So not only will we see a budgetary impact, we're actually going to see this new program affect personnel because it's going to impact HR and processing these claims, particularly claims in short term that we've never had to deal with, and it's also going to impact our payroll.
Anybody else?
I'm sorry, one more if you don't
Sure.
mind, Mr. Chairman. I'm really concerned about the budget impact going forward. It's with everything else, unfunded mandates and everything else looking forward, just one more thing that will impact our budget. Our choices are really limited in this, correct?
Correct. This is law.
Yeah.
So and going forward, we are left with the hybrid pension plan, and we're left with this local disability plan, whether it's the state's option or whether it's a private company's option.
So
It's a short conversation.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like it's law, so you have two choices: either enter into the program where you have no choices and you're locked in and you're at the mercy of whoever decides to raise premiums or finagle this plan ever how they want, or you enter into the private market where you can go out and seek competitive rates should the rates get out of hand. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. With the option plan, the private market, is there a minimum number of days that an employee has to be out for it to qualify as short leave, short term?
Well, what's going to happen? There is a waiting period. If the employee is injured and they can't come back to work, there's a 7 calendar day waiting period before the short-term disability. They have to file for a claim of short-term disability, so it has to go through the process. And that's what the insurance companies will assist the school division with in helping determine whether or not this particular claim or injury or illness warrants anything longer than 7 days. At 7 days, we pay them nothing. The employee could use their sick leave to cover that period, but at 7 days, we don't pay anything.
So would the 7 days where they're filling out their paperwork, they're waiting to get the word that yes, this is going to be fall under short-term disability, or no, it's not. In those 7 days, will the insurance company backfill them for the pay that they lost if they chose not to take their sick leave during those 7 days? Am I making sense at all?
They will never get paid for 7 days.
Okay.
There's just
unless they choose to use their sick leave.
Unless they choose to use their sick leave.
Gotcha. Okay. But this is actually a way where if an employee had saved up the sick leave over time, they could actually come out at the end of the short-term disability only down 7 of those sick leave days, right? So
Right.
They still have, so they don't have to deplete that. So later on in the year, should they get the flu or anything else, they have something to fall back on. Is that correct?
Correct. Correct. We have to cover them for a maximum of 25 weeks under the short term. That's our requirement under short term. Once, if it's determined by the professionals that they can't come back to work, then they go to long-term disability. And then it's the insurance company that determines whether or not that they're rehabilitated or recovered enough to go back to work. Now, at that point, I can tell you, they won't be with Poquoson City Schools, most likely, just because of if it's a teacher position, we have to fill that position. 25 weeks is 6 months.
Right.
And if they go into that long-term position, then most likely we won't have that position to fill for them. What that insurance company will do, though, they will work with them to try and find them another job in that particular field. So whether it was maintenance or whether it's bus driver or whether it's a teacher, they will work to try and find that teacher or that employee additional work.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
How does this dovetail with the Family Medical Leave Act? Or does it? I mean, if you opt to take a block of time through that act, and then the disability benefits, regardless of the funnel, kick
Right.
in.
We have to cover that employee under the Federal Medical Leave Act. So for those 12 weeks, we have to keep that employee employed. Once the Federal Leave Act expires, that time expires, then we're not under the obligation to hold that position open, but we're still paying them at 60% of their salary through that short-term disability period.
During the 12 weeks, right?
During 25 weeks. So the 12 weeks is the federal, it's the Medical Leave Act, so they will be our employee for 12 weeks, without question. It's just what happens after the 12 weeks. What position, can we find somebody to fill that position? Yes, this is a new program. Actually, the state currently has this program. It's modeled after what they have for state employees. It's new to us. The professionals are the insurance companies. So they will be advising us on the rules and the requirements when it comes to federal medical leave and whether short-term converts to long-term. So we will have some professionals standing behind us as part of our premium and part of what we get from the insurance company.
Does anybody else have any, because I don't want to monopolize the conversation. I have one more because I'm slow too, Mr. Cast. You mentioned something about 80 days, 85 days.
Yes.
Can you, I'm apologize, but I didn't catch that.
There's what happens on the short-term disability, where Poquoson still has that employees responsible for the cost. If the employee has been here longer than 5 years and they have a short-term disability claim, then we have to pay, instead of it's 60% for 125 days, we pay now at 100% at 85 days. We pay at 80% at 25 days, and then we pay 60% at 15 days. So the longer you've been here, the more benefit you receive.
Right.
So that's where...
Initiative.
I'm sorry?
It could be initiative to, well, I don't know if that would be initiative or not, but anyway, yes, I understand.
Okay.
So, okay. Anybody else?
Are we seeking a motion?
Not yet.
Yeah, that'll be a little bit later. But thank you very much, sir. Next up, operations update with Mr. Pappas.
Good evening, Chairman Carter, School Board, Dr. Parrish. Among the many important documents in your packet, one relates to transportation and a proclamation about the fact that the week of October 21st through the 25th be designated as School Bus Safety Week and School Bus Transportation Employees Awareness Day and Appreciation Day, excuse me. Every day in transportation is a safety day, but since our last meeting, every student in PCPS who rides the bus participated in a bus evacuation drill. Keeping with the safety theme, just this last week, I'm sure you're all well aware that we've been navigating some high waters. Our bus drivers have had to have an especially keen eye towards these rising tides and makes their everyday safety challenge that much more arduous, but they have risen to that occasion. Each week, next week actually, drivers will be completing their required by DOE ridership counts. Every day, every run, they have to take the counts. We have to submit that to DOE, and that'll be part of our annual school report. Keeping with the area of safety also, all PCPS schools this Thursday will participate in a statewide earthquake drill. Last year, you may recall, we did it at PMS. That was the first year for Virginia, and this year we're doing it in all of our schools. That's October 17th, this Thursday. Additionally, all schools have concluded all of their required drills to date. We still have drills coming, but to date, every drill that's required has been completed. In the area of food service, federal government regulations require that the automatic extension that we provide to students and families receiving free or reduced meals ended on October 14th. Now, while that extension has ended, we encourage anybody who did not reapply that they can reapply anytime throughout the year for those benefits. That's important. If you didn't apply or you feel the need to apply, we're available all year long to take those applications. The week of October 14th through the 18th, which is now, is also designated as National School Lunch Week. And the theme this year is school lunches across the USA. So PCPS will be offering some regional delicacies from award-winning recipes to entice our students. Such wonderful culinary items like sweet southern carrot souffle, which is kind of like eating your vegetables as dessert, and Southwest-style black beans and corn salad. In the area of maintenance, we're moving forward towards winterizing our schools and such. We've been very busy. Just 2 weeks ago, I had a concerned community member contact me and discuss the viability of adding handrails to our bleachers. I did some research, looked into that, and found that, in fact, it would be beneficial and that we will be adding handrails to those aisles on our competition field. The aisles will be narrower as a consequence, but we will add that. And the date of the installation is dependent on the competition schedule as well as the availability of the work crew to do that work. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much, sir. Anybody have questions? Thank you, Mr. Pappas. And next up is our instructional update with Ms. Colley.
Good evening, Chairman Carter, members of the board, Dr. Parrish. My name is Amy Colley, and my favorite library book is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. It's still my favorite book. So this evening, my instructional update concludes our fall data presentations. We've been hearing the last few months about our data, and I'm going to bring to you tonight our AP data and our SAT data from our high school. So AP, Advanced Placement courses, PHS students were tested in 22 courses this year. That's up from 20 last year and 18 in 2010. So we're adding more courses, and I think you're seeing this as we're able to offer some blended and online courses across the board. We're also have students taking advantage of some online AP classes. These courses were taught online through Virtual Virginia. They were taught at the high school in class, and then also at New Horizons Governor's School. And all in all, out of those 22 courses, our students took 316 AP tests last spring. When we look at our students who perform with a score of 3 or better, which is typically what our colleges will take for credit, Poquoson High School's average of students, the percent of students scoring 3 or better is 84.3%. And when you compare that with Virginia being 62.2% and internationally being 60.8%, we still are well above those averages. So well done to our high school students taking those courses. And last this evening, we want to look at how our students are faring on the SAT tests. And we have the comparison here from last year. So our SAT scores are on the rise, with our score being 1585 this past spring. And when you compare that with the state and the nation, we're still above those averages. And so again, proud of our students, their hard work, a testament to the teachers' work in rolling up their sleeves and making sure our students are prepared to compete, particularly with these tests at the college level as they're entering college, and also with some of our AP tests, the workforce. And that's my update, and that concludes our fall data walk too. So we'll look to some other instructional updates next month. Questions?
Yeah. Do our students pay for their own AP test?
Yes.
We do. There is a program for students who may not have the ability to do that, and that's actually a state program where funding is able to be provided to assist those students.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Sorry. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Very impressive numbers up there. Nice to see. Mr. Cast, would you like to take us through our consent agenda, please?
Sure. The consent agenda tonight consists of the following items A through C: approval of financial reports, approval of personnel action, authorization to accept and expend funds in accordance with the attached request.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to.
And a second?
Second. Got several.
Everybody's anxious tonight. I like that. Thank you. Ms. McDowell, could you please call for a vote?
Ms. Rollins?
Aye.
Mr. Hucks?
Aye.
Ms. Whitaker?
Aye.
Ms. Sidner? Aye. Mr. Melton?
Aye.
Mr. Cast? Aye. Chairman Carter?
Aye.
The motion passed by a vote of 7-0.
Thank you, ma'am. And other matters for consideration. First up is consideration of approval of the resolution to opt out of the Virginia Local Disability Program. Dr. Parrish, you want to make one last comment to that?
Yes, I think Mr. Bowen did an excellent job of walking you through that. So we are recommending that you do vote to opt out of the local disability. Know that school divisions and localities across the state are all looking at this issue, and I believe that our city, we believe is also going to vote to opt out, just so you know that, since we work so closely with the city. So with that said, I just recommend that you do approve the resolution to opt out of the Virginia Local Disability Program so we can pursue an outside vendor.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve opting out of the Local Disability Program?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Does anybody have any further discussion on that?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Was this expected, or did we know this was coming?
Yes, we did. I will tell you that Mr. Bowen has been researching this for actually months now. We knew this was coming as a result of the work of the General Assembly. And then what happened is during the course of the summer, you had several outside insurance company bringing forward plans and doing a lot of presentations so that finance directors could go to them, listen to them, hear them, and make the best recommendation to you. So, we were waiting to see if we would get more information from VRS about any future rates, and they're not providing anything at this time. So, hence the reason we're bringing you that recommendation now. So do know a lot of research has gone behind this decision that's come to you. And it's a lot of quick work because these other companies, it took them a while to come out with plans, comparable plans to the Virginia legal requirements.
Anybody else? Okay, Ms. McDowell, could you please call for a vote?
Ms. Rollins?
Aye.
Mr. Hucks?
Aye.
Ms. Whitaker?
Aye.
Ms. Sidner?
Aye.
Mr. Melton?
Aye.
Mr. Cast?
Aye.
Chairman Carter?
Aye.
The motion passed by a vote of 7-0.
Thank you. Next up is consideration of approval of the minutes of the September regular meeting and the work session. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from last month?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
No discussion, I assume. Ms. McDowell, could you call for a vote, please?
Ms. Rollins?
Aye.
Mr. Hucks?
Aye.
Ms. Whitaker?
Abstain.
Ms. Sidner?
Aye.
Mr. Melton?
Aye.
Mr. Cast?
Aye.
Chairman Carter?
Aye.
The motion passed by a vote of 6 to 1 abstain.
And last, for matters for consideration, there are several proclamations to go through. One is American Education Week. And we all know that a well-educated workforce spurs innovations that can solve global problems for business, industry, and human relations, and provide economic security to our community, state, and nation. The next one we have is the National School Lunch Week. And we definitely thank the food program administrators, all the educators, parents, and all the community workers who provide nutrition for our sons and daughters. And especially here in the schools, they really go above and beyond trying to make what they force us to eat palatable. And I appreciate your work there and all the people who work with you. School bus transportation. And so this is School Bus Safety Week and School Bus Transportation Employees Appreciation Day. And we definitely know from Mr. Papst's presentations that they certainly have the highest standards of school bus safety. It's maintained through rigorous driver training and certification requirements. And they certainly deserve recognition for their diligence in transporting our greatest assets from point A to point B, and they do that very well, and we're definitely proud of them. And School Psychologist Awareness Week. School psychologists facilitate collaboration, help parents and educators identify and reduce risk factors, promote protective factors, create effective caring schools, access needed community resources, and implement research-driven prevention and intervention strategies. So we're glad to have them on board as well. You want to go through those one more time just to make sure you have it, or you good?
No questions, Mr. Chairman, no questions.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the proclamations?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
And any discussion, comments there?
Can we add make what they force us to eat to the school lunch proclamation?
Well, as long as the sweet carrots are served with whole wheat bread, I think we'll be okay. Ms. McDowell, could you please call for a vote?
Ms. Rollins?
Aye.
Mr. Hucks?
Aye.
Ms. Whitaker?
Aye.
Ms. Sidner?
Aye.
Mr. Melton?
Aye.
Mr. Cast?
Aye.
Chairman Carter?
Aye.
The motion passed by a vote of 7 to 0.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay, and for communications, Dr. Parrish, would you like to kick us off, please?
Yes, I want to encourage everyone to go to our homepage and to take our survey. We do have that survey online. We launched it on October 7th, and it will close on October 25th. We've had a number of parents and community members partake in it, but we are hoping to get every household in Poquoson to take part in the survey. So if you go to our homepage, and on the lower left-hand corner, you'll see a link that says Your Voice, and if you click that, you'll get right into the survey, and it really shouldn't take you probably more than 10 minutes at the most to complete it. So we encourage you to do that, because that information that we get through the survey results will really help to drive our strategic planning in the coming months. With that said, I do want to thank the parents and community members who have taken the time to complete the survey and who continue to support us in so many ways. Certainly, Mr. Pappas referenced the fact that we did have a community member call and talk about the bleachers, and we were able to take some steps to improve those. Certainly, Ms. Furlman did a wonderful job of talking about SEAC and how that organization supports us as well. So I just encourage parents and community members to please keep in touch with us. If you have any concerns or ideas, please call the building administrators or email them, or call or contact us at the school board office, because we need to hear from you and talk to you about it so we can resolve any issues, but also you sometimes come up with ideas that are great and that we can implement in our school division. Thank you.
Thank you. Marissa?
Good evening. It has been a busy fall already at all our schools. IPOP preschoolers took a field trip to the Poquoson Public Library, where they were read to about pumpkins. The kindergartners celebrated Color Day, doing a variety of activities with the 6 basic colors. On October 11th, the first graders were visited by the fire department, and they learned some fire safety rules. Second graders took charge as the big kids in the school and taught the younger ones about being good citizens. PES has been kicking off the beginning of their school clubs, including SCA, Odyssey of the Mind, Environmental Club, Battle of the Books, Art Club, and many more. On behalf of Poquoson Primary and Elementary School, they will be hosting a trunk or treat at the elementary school on October 29th from 6 to 7 p.m. and look forward to a great turnout. The middle school's 9-week test will begin next week. Make sure to check the school's website for details. Please look for communication from teachers for the parent-teacher conferences on November 11th. PHS students and staff would like to congratulate the Poquoson Islander Marching Band for receiving the title of Grand Champions at the War Hill competition. Staff and students have been very busy participating in many fundraisers this October. Students participated in the community food drive, and both students and staff participated in the Lee Denham Day fundraiser in support of breast cancer. It has been a great start to the school year. Let's keep up the great work.
Thank you very much. Ms. Rollins.
I just want to say that I love to hear young people talking about reading. I've worked for a lot of years with people adults for whom reading was a challenge, and it's just wonderful to hear young people talk about reading. It's a testament to the work of teachers and the encouragement of parents. It's great.
Thank you very much. Mr. Hucks.
Thank you, Dr. Carter. I'd like to thank the Poquoson Education Foundation and the Kiwanis Club for sponsoring the 5K run walk race earlier this month. Also like to thank all those that participated to help raise funds for the schools, and congratulations go to Poquoson High School sophomore Matt Casey for winning the men's division, and to Kristen Milner, a resident of Newport News, for her victory in the women's division. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Whitaker.
Yes, I'd just like to piggyback on what Mr. Huck said about the walk that was held, the race/walk. Some of us chose to participate in the walk portion of it instead of the race. I was accompanied by my second grader. Unfortunately, the course went by our house, and the little buddy ditched me as we went by. So I finished on my own, but I did finish. And it was a well-organized race. Everyone was in good spirits. I saw staff members there. Ms. Colley's nodding her head. And it was really good. That we've had a nice day, no rain. It was a really fun event, and I'm hoping that more people come out next year, and just look forward to it again. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Sidner.
I would like to ditto that. I also walked, and it was a nice day to do that. And I would like to congratulate Marissa. She was in the top 3 of all the women, so she was top 3. So congratulations to her. I would also like to report that Dr. Parrish and I attended the WHRO Education Advisory Committee meeting on October 8th. As soon as I get minutes and material from that, I'll send it out to you guys. And also, I believe later this month, Dr. Parrish has been doing little commercial snippets on WHRO, of course, talking about the budget. But coming up, she'll be doing some more talking about the good things here about Poquoson. So it'll be hard to cram everything good into, I'm sure, the few seconds she'll have, but I look forward to that. And also, congratulations to the band. That was a very nice accomplishment.
Thank you. Mr. Melton.
Yes, following last month's meeting, I was able to attend 2 open houses. I made it to the primary school. It was great to see the bright colors and the teachers all waiting for the parents, and was also able to attend the open house at the high school. And I saw lots of parental support in Poquoson. As always, parking lots were full, couldn't find a place to park, and that is a great thing. This Thursday, I'll be in Richmond with the Career and Tech Ed Virginia Committee meeting, and I do echo what one of the young readers said tonight, that reading is a lifelong learning skill, and I appreciate our strong reading programs in Poquoson, supported both by the library staff and the teachers. So thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Cass?
Well said by everyone. I have nothing further.
Okay. That caught me by surprise. You always have something to say. The library presentations tonight were great. I thought I love to see kids who have a passion for reading, because I never did until much later in life, and now I enjoy it quite a bit, as long as it doesn't come out of a technical journal, and which I read for 7 years. But anyway, I thought it was great, and thank you to everybody who was involved with that. And if I'm not mistaken, our color guard won for first place. Am I in one of the competitions here recently? So congratulations to them. A reminder about the survey that Dr. Parrish mentioned earlier. You do not have to have a son or daughter in the school system. You just have to be a member of the community who has an interest in helping guide the board and the school system in the direction that we need to go. So take 10 minutes and get online and fill out that survey. It would be very, very helpful to us. And lastly, Mr. Wright, to you, your staff, and the teachers, everybody who was there at the homecoming dance, I heard so many positive comments coming back that parents were very glad that guidelines were established and that they were enforced. It was right up front. Everybody knew what to expect. You and your people held them accountable. And the feedback that I got was that, you know what, we stuck it out. A lot of kids left, I hear, but the ones who stuck it out, nothing but great comments coming back about what a great time they had. So there's a lot of support out there for, myself included, for you guys laying the guidelines, holding them accountable, and I think ultimately it turned out great. So be sure to thank everybody else at the high school who had anything to do with that. So thank you very much, sir. And do we have any material for board review?
We do not.
And with that, we will adjourn to our work session.